Hey, thanks for checking out this video. This is on Shadow of the Dragon Queen, and this is the second half of Chapter 4. Wheelwatch, which is Calaman's southernmost outpost, has been taken by Red Dragon Army forces. Marshal Vendry requests that you participate in retaking it. So there'll be some battles here, and then there'll be a big twist at the end if you're a player. There'll be spoilers here, so please come back after you've played the adventure. This part of the adventure is for characters of level 5 or lower, and the project lead for this is F. Wesley Schneider. If you're doing this as part of a convention or a game day, you need to pace it for 4 hours, or if you just want to pace it for 4 hours yourself, here is kind of an outline. In the first hour, you're going to want to take care of the Wheelwatch outpost. Now this can easily drag into the second hour, so watch your time here. In hour 1 through 2, you'll have the battle at Steel Springs, and then in hour 2 through 3, the Lord's Arrival, and then hour 3 through 4 down into the Catacombs and finishing up the adventure. So you can pace the interactions with the NPCs, and you can do more or less time opening the gate at the Wheelwatch outpost. In the adventure, it's 10 rounds to open the gate. For a couple of reasons, I think 6 might work a little better, and we'll talk about that when we get to that encounter. For music for this adventure, there's quite a few good choices for music. This is with all tabletop audio. The Dock District for around Calaman, Fishing Village if you're around the refugees outside Bogler, the Slaughtered Ox if you're in a kind of a tavern, Medieval Town for Calaman, Blacksmith Shop for Calaman, Medieval Battle when you get to the Wheelwatch Outpost, and while you're scouting it out, you could have like Forest Day, which I have playing right here, right now. And then you can do Medieval Battle, Cry Havoc. Probably won't have Burning Village ever come up. That was from the previous one or two. Forest Night, because actually there should be reconnoitering and spying during the night at the outpost. And then when they descend down below, I'd probably go to Abyssal Gaze when they're going into the Catacombs. And that's it for the music aspects. For tokens, I will put the tokens I've used. Here are some pictures of them. We got Lidara, we got Caradoc, we got Sarlamir, Wyhan, and Tatina don't come into play in this one. But, and Skeletal Knights don't, but I have a good images or good tokens for the Skeletal Knights that do get encountered in this adventure. They're actually Wights and Wraiths in this part of the adventure. All right. So those tokens will be linked below in the description. And then for maps, let me zoom out on the map here. I'm using maps from Tessa's maps, and they're just fantastic. Tessa's working on these maps now and should have them available for sale shortly. I will be purchasing those as soon as they are available. Then we're going to be using actually 3 maps from the adventure itself for some of this part of the adventure. And let's zoom in on the Wheelwatch Outpost for the first part. So the party will actually start in Calaman, and there in Calaman, they're going to be told about the Wheelwatch Outpost and how it's been taken over by the Red Dragon Army. And then they will meet with Raven, who's got a squad of troops that are going to go try to take it back over, but who asks the party to go in first and get open the gates. And you can present the whole map of the outpost to the party because this is an outpost that Calaman used to man and they know about it. Of course, take off the miniatures or put them to a GM layer when you do that. Then the party can go out and do some reconnaissance of the outpost. Try not to get seen, sneak in there. They'll have to watch out for the alarm horns in the 4 corners. They'll have to watch out for guards being on alert. They'll have to watch out for imposters, or they could try and be imposters. If they've captured some Dragon Army uniforms or armor, that will help them get through the front gates. And then there's a dragonnel rider that will come out at an opportune time when the party's about to open the gate and attack them. And that's it for general features of the outpost. So the outpost in W1, these are the gate cranks. And for these gate cranks, they have to be unlocked first. So if there's no trap pickers, the party's going to have to go find the keys. That makes it much more difficult. So keep that in mind. If your party has to do that, you're going to blow through the first hour pretty easily, I think. If they have the keys, then it'll be much shorter. So you could, if they have the keys, make cranking take longer. And if they don't, maybe have it take a little shorter. I ran it as 10 rounds, and that was enough time for the party to kill everyone in the whole compound as they came to attack them. So obviously a little anticlimactic when the army comes rushing through to save them when they've already won. So if you do it in 6 rounds, that'll help that a little bit. Okay, the south towers, you got 2 of those with some guards in them. The northwest tower, you have 2 levels, and the map doesn't have the second level. You can do that in Photoshop or something like that. I just inset it over here on the map. And there is a soldier actually wearing the gear of a Calaman soldier in the second level of the tower, or the main level of the tower. And that's actually a Civac Draconian, the first time the party could meet one of those. So that's pretty cool. You want the, definitely a Calaman soldier mini for that. The Dragonnel, Dragon Rider. There's actually 2 Draconian army officers, and one of them will be riding this Dragonnel in the adventure. Let's see, we were on the northwest tower. So now we have the northeast fortification, which wraps around the sleeping quarters. Strangely, there's no sleeping quarters for any of the Draconians or officers. So I guess maybe put a little bit more description where they're at and say that that's where they live. And there's, of course, also a horn here. And then you have the sleeping quarters where all the army's asleep and where one of the keys is located at. And so the party could get a key, in theory, if they could get in there somehow, and then open up the gate that way. Or they could fight into this barracks. And if they get to the barracks before the barracks people have woken up, it'll make it a much easier fight for them. Well, when they search the barracks, they should find the key, along with a silvered longsword and holy symbol of Tachesis. And then we come back out into the compound here, and we have where the jail is. Now in the jail, there's a desk with some papers on it, and that Dragon Army officer that's there is writing on those papers. So the party could get some information there. There's also a Calaman soldier that was captured, and a Kender, and that Kender's a lot of fun. That Kender is Elgo Duck Ditcher, who is a self-famous explorer and avoider of foul, and who's great friends with Flannel, her cousin, who's actually named Lannel, and will try and get away with her at any opportunity. And if anyone tries to tell her that his name is actually Lannel, she'll say that it's Flannel, and she knows her own cousin's name. And so she's a lot of fun, especially if other Kender in the party. So that's a cool encounter. So this whole thing should go about an hour, hour and a half. You might, again, need to watch the time and shorten how long it takes them to crank open the gates, because that basically ends the encounter. Let's see that we did the jail here. The party can also find some information out at the jail on those papers. They could find out who the Dragon High Master is of this area, Salty Fire Eyes. They could get the keys. This is the second location keys are located that they could use to open the gates if they don't have thieves' tools. All right, then you got W7 as a storage area where they could, with a high enough investigation, find some alchemist fire. And then you have W8, which you should give them plenty of warning ahead of time. They should smell the blood before they open the doors. And if they have high enough perception, they should hear the movement of the dragonnel. Then if the dragonnel comes out and there's the fight with the dragonnel, there's an opportunity to share some information. And again, you can share some information on the perception check, also at the door. But someone might know what a dragonnel is with a high arcana or nature skill, so I shared that with one of my players here with a whisper to them. And then you can search that officer. I put some extra treasure in the adventure because there's not a lot. And then we have W9 as the cook area. And there's a human soldier with a stained apron there. And if you search him, he's got some treasure that is in the adventure. The gates, like I said, supposed to be 10 rounds to open, but they can open faster if you want as the DM. And that's it. The party should succeed here. Get the gates open, the army floods in. With the army's help, they finish off the people here. They could learn a couple of things if they capture any prisoners, and hopefully they will. There's actually 3 things they could learn. They could learn the Dragon Army is going to retake the outpost if they lose. They can learn the Red Dragon Army's leader is Casaldi Fire Eyes. And they can learn the Dragonnel station here is just a messenger, and when war truly comes, red wings will darken the skies. Okay, so then they will return back to Calaman for Wheelwatch Outpost. I didn't position Wheelwatch Outpost on the map, but it is actually, if we come here to the map, in the adventure from Calaman, Wheelwatch Outpost is here by the Gravel Run and Raiding Rill. All right, then the party's going to return to Calaman. And when they return to Calaman, they're going to find that there's not a lot going on. The place is kind of quiet. That's when they'll find out that the Draconian army had a small group separate from the army, and Lord Bacaris tried to convince Calaman to go and attack them. And Darrett is very concerned that Lord Bacaris is just going to lead them into failure, and so he asks the party to come help. Assuming the party does come help, they will arrive just as a retreat is happening from Steel Springs. Steel Springs is about 30 miles west of Calaman. Each of these squares is 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's a tributary off of the Inkwater, basically. All right. So they will have the battle from the retreat from Steel Springs. And this is after a long rest, so they are going to be pretty good here, pretty strong here. No reason not to let them just kind of trounce this one, because they should. You just got 4 Dragon Army officers, their mounts. You got various conditions that can happen here, including more Dragon Army officers. You have a dragonnel that flies overhead. So that's the retreat. And when they succeed at that, then the commanders will retreat. And that's where they'll see Darrett. They'll see Lord... with Darrett is Lord Bacaris, who's completely in shock. They'll learn that the Dragon Army forces overwhelm them, and that Bacaris the Younger is actually, well, they'll learn this when they get back to the safe house, or the safe location. Bacaris the Younger is actually captured, and Bacaris the Younger becomes second in command to Kitiara, I mean. So definitely, that's pretty cool that the party had been interacting with him. Then comes some really cool part of this adventure. So they will return to Calaman. And when they return to Calaman, at the gates to Calaman, there'll be a bunch of people milling around, and they'll learn that some Knights of Sarlamia came to Calaman, a whole squad of them, of 12 of them. If they quickly follow those knights, they'll come to Castle Calaman. They might learn at the gate that the knights were wearing very ancient and not well-kept armor, which is odd. They get to the castle, and they'll be let through, and of course the guards will tell them the same thing if they ask. And then they'll come to the courtyard, and this is where they first see these knights of Sarlamia. Now, you could have foreshadowed this back in Vogler, where they could be seen up on the hillside, and I described that in that DM tips for that adventure. So these knights, and I'll put these tokens in the link down below. These knights are just really cool looking. You got their mount, you got the knight, and of course you can just kind of superimpose them when they're riding their mount like that. And these are whites, so that's just a white monster with a different token. And these are skeletal war horses that they're riding. So these will go down pretty easy, but the party will be concerned. They'll come into the castle. Again, maps by Tessa's maps are fantastic. They'll come to the scene of a massacre here in the court council chamber. So yeah, they fight the knights. I put some extra treasure on the knights, some platinum coins, and an ancient copy of part of the measure, with some gold lettering, just because they need a little bit more treasure in the adventure, I thought. They'll find the halls are deserted and strangely quiet, and then they'll come across the massacre in the council chamber. And you'll want to make sure you describe ahead of time that the doors are smashed, chairs are smashed, tables smashed. And then, because someone in the party might see while Caradoc begins talking, you can put the image of Caradoc there, someone might see that there's a blood trail that goes to this back door here. Caradoc will try and delay the party as long as he can, and then you have this cool fight with Caradoc. And this is an interesting take on ghosts. I don't see this very often, where a ghost is possessing someone ahead of time, and the party will defeat them. That person will fall, the ghost will come out. I have the ghost separate here on the GM layer, and continue fighting, and the body will be on the floor dying. And they can rescue him, and my party did right away, and get some more information out of this knight. Because this knight, he was traveling near Dargard Keep, which is the last thing he recalls happening. So they're going to fight Caradoc, defeat him, hopefully. Find out what scroll he is carrying. With that scroll, they can read that Lord Loren Soth is here. And here you can drop some knowledge for anyone who's a knight, or some history skill of who Lord Loren Soth is, and they can share it with the party. A very dire turn of events for the party here. Then, Ladara, who they would have seen in Vogler, at Ispin's funeral, makes another appearance. I have this token here of Ladar. I won't share this one because it's, well, I guess you can take either one of these. I won't share either one of those because neither one of them are the adventure, but you can go find the artist who did Ladara for the adventure in her other form. He also released in Twitter a picture here of her in this form. Anyway, she'll appear. She'll tell the party to hurry. The party will go down these stairs back here and chase after Lord Thor and Soth. So the path, they'll go through the door frame where the wall's been crushed down. They'll come to the raided catacombs. Now, when they get to the raided catacombs, it's back to an adventure, a map that's in the adventure. Here are the catacombs, and they are covered in purple flame throughout. And the party will have visions in each room they come to. So they come to room 1. You can describe that. There's some statues there that some of the party might know about that you can share in character. But then they'd have the vision, number 1. And this is the meeting of Lord Soth when he saves the elf woman. And then you got vision 2 in the next room where he's cast out from the other knights because he marries this elf woman after his human woman, his previous wife, dies. Then vision 3, you'll want to wait till you get to room 4 here, where you have this picture, because it goes with that picture. So if you have another vision in the 3rd room, you can use like the last thing they describe in the adventure, which skeletal visages leering at the party from the flames and then vanish. I'm skipping ahead here. Let's go back to room 2. So room 2 is the burial grounds of all these knights, and of course the party could disturb them and have to find some wraiths, so I put the knights back in there with wraiths now for their tokens. And they will see also this tunnel, and that's a good place where you can share with a dwarf especially, or if you don't have a dwarf, someone with high survival or investigation, that tunnel is very dangerous to travel through, because you don't really want the party to travel straight through the tunnels that Lord Soth took, otherwise they'll miss all the visions. And the tunnel will collapse if anyone does try to go through it. Then they'll come to the next room. They have the 3rd vision, or they'll have the generic vision, not the 3rd one. And in that room, the 3rd room, there is a berserker axe, a longsword +1, mithril breastplate. When my players point out there's no reason for a mithril breastplate because breastplates already don't have a strength requirement, already don't cause disadvantage on stealth checks, so mithril is just pretty. Anyway, then you also have the Kaganusty Forest Shroud, which is a really cool magic item. That's a neat one for the party to find. Then the party will come to this next room, room number 4 here, and there you can do the 3rd vision, vision 3, which goes along with the picture. And this is where the knight dons his armor, his elven wife is pleading with him, and he heads off to go stop the cataclysm, basically. You have these 2 horses that the party could cause to become peaceful that will emerge from the flames, and then they can grant them the favor of the heroic steed if they do that. Then you come to room 5 and room 6, and room 5 is a monument to the lost, lots of names on there. Room 6, the party will have this image kneeling in front of the knight, who then can tell them quite a story. And you can just, kind of paraphrase the story. This knight tells them about how her and other knights in Sarlamir went to stop the king priest and cause him to take back his flying city because it was angering the good dragons, and then somehow things escalated and Sarlamir killed a good dragon and was cursed from that point on, and maybe contributed to the cataclysm. Then you come to room 7, and this is the big fight. You'll probably want to be here with a half hour to spare if you can, 15 minutes to spare, because when they enter the room, they're going to have another vision. This is where they see Lord Soth come, take the cataclysm flame and get it onto his mace, and then leave. And then they'll see the tomb. Something's trying to break out of the tomb. They might go open it. They see the lid. They'll know it's Xenos Sarlamir, Knight of the Crown. And then they open it. Sarlamir explodes out. And this is just an amazing image. Super cool image for Sarlamir, a skeletal warrior. Skeletal warriors are really tough with their innervating blade, and I even increase the damage beyond what they do for damage. But 3 attacks doing 3d6 plus 5, and you can't regain hit points. But a whole party against him, he goes down pretty quick, even with an armor class of 18 and 112 hit points. Party can still get through that pretty quick. So you could up his hit points if you want to, but he's pretty good, pretty dangerous as is. And then when he is defeated, the party basically finds out, well, there's a couple things he needs to share while the party's fighting him. Most importantly, that Soth is beckoning him to follow him north to a place of his dishonor, the Northern Waste, the City of Lost Names. And if you don't share that while he's fighting, share that when he's like on his last gasp of breath. And then the conclusion is that the city is basically in shock. The council's been killed. The mayor's been killed. Darrett and Marshal Vendry are, I guess, maybe in charge of the city now. Hopefully the party will head north to find the City of Lost Names and see what's going on. And that's where you end that part. Oh, and of course, the most important thing here. What's inside the coffin of Sarlamir is a Dragonlance. It's just the spearhead of the Dragonlance, so it can't function fully, but the party should take it with them to find out how to reforge it. That is chapter 4, the last half. Definitely consumes all of 4 hours. You could definitely do chapter 4 in 3 sessions instead of 2 if you want to, just spend a little bit more time on it. But a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to the next part. Please leave in the comments. Let me know how your group's doing and how much you're enjoying this part of the adventure. Thank you for watching.